मूर्तिम् द्वन्द्वातीतम् सर्वदी साक्षिभूतम् भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ॐ हां हौं शिवाय नमः। 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 We will now be entering into the Tattvachamanam, the ritualistic cleansing of the mouth. Please take your Panchapatrams and Udhini's in your hand. Place your hand in the Gokarana Mudra and please take a sip of water from the base of your palm along with the mantra. Om Atmatattvam Shodhayami Swadha. Om Vidyatattvam Shodhayami Swadha. Om Shivatattvam. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Wash your hands with an udhini of water. Now with the tips of your right hand, index, middle and ring fingers joined together, touch above the upper lip and below the lower lip. Wash your hands with an udhini of water. With the tips of your index finger and thumb joined together, touch your right nostril, left nostril. With the tips of your right hand, ring finger and thumb joined together, touch your right eye, right ear, left ear. Wash your hands with an udhini of water. With the base of your right hand, touch your left shoulder and your heart center. Wash your hands with an udhini of water and place it on your right thigh. And as we chant the Sankalpa, hold a conscious visualization of how you want to sculpt your body. How is it that you want to sculpt your mind? The conscious reality which you want to manifest. See that whatever space you hold will simply manifest as a reality. Sankalpa. Om Namo Partha Samasta Duritakshayadvara Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Prityartham Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Asyam Shubhaditau Purana Arogya Yukta Ridagatra Yogic Sharira Siddhartam Paramashiva Shakti Aviskaranaartham Nithyananda Yoga Abhyasam Karishye. Om Apaupa site as we get ready to enter into the Nithyananda Yoga.
Today's yoga practice. For practicing. If at any point you feel pain, dizziness, or discomfort, gently stop and rest. Let us now begin. Today we are starting with asanas 100 in Pratama Vinyasa Krama series 2 as we start with the Yatha Sanishta Asana as desired pose. So please come seated in a comfortable position. Sit in a posture that brings ease to your physical. Hands in Bindu Mudra. Allow your breath to flow steady and create space through your chest as you sit calmly. Hold the Samana Kumbhaka. Inhale deeply, visualizing the heat plates rising up along the spine. Clench the muscles of the pelvic floor in Mula Bandha as you chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize finding your perfect place of equilibrium and ease where the body and mind harmonize effortlessly.
यथा निष्ठासना पर्यङ्कं तत्समाख्यातं यत संस्थान्यता स्थितिः.
Now we move on to Samasana, the balance pose. Now sitting in the cross-legged position, keeping your spine tall, allow the body to settle naturally, focusing on the smooth, effortless breathing. Inhale deeply, clench the muscles of the pelvic floor in Mula Bandha, visualizing yourself seated firmly yet softly on the earth.
इदानीं गर्भिणीनां योगाभ्यासौ यथा लघु सुखप्रसवलाभाय प्रोच्यते प्राक्तनेपथि. दण्डपद्मभरद्वाजा वीरवज्रसमानितु आसनानि सदा कुर्यात् सुदीर्घैरेचपूरकैः.
Sit with the legs extended. Draw the left heel to press gently against the perineum. Place the right heel above the left, ankles aligned. Rest the knees outward comfortably, spine tall, chest open, holding the Shambhavi Mudra with a steady gaze. Samana Kumbhaka, inhaling, visualizing heat flames rising up along the spine. Clench the muscles of the pelvic floor in Mula Bandha and chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing your Guru's loving presence lifting burdens from your shoulders.
मुक्तासना निपीड्य शिविनीं सूक्ष्मान् दक्षिणेतरगुल्फतः वामं याम्येन गुल्फेन मुक्तासनमिदं भवेत्.
Next is Siddhasana. Continuing to remain seated in the same position, place the right heel above the genitals, ankles crossing, lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders, rest the hands on the knees. Keep the eyes open in Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka with your breath, Mula Bandha, and visualize seated in perfect alignment, your spine erect as a luminous pillar of inner strength. Chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
सिद्धासना स्थाणु संयमितेन्द्रियो चलदृशा पश्यन् भुवोर्मण्डलं चैतन्मोक्षकपाटभेदजनकं सिद्धासनं प्रोच्यते.
Continue to remain seated in the bandhas by clenching the muscles of the pelvic floor in Mula Bandha, tucking the chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha, and drawing the abdomen inward and up. Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
सिद्ध्यासना वामपाद की एडी जानो शिवनी मदितास कौठानो दशपाद की एडी जोई मेदुमदि लगावे सोई.
Next we move on to Rudrasana Dve. Hold the legs to stack the right. Press the heels near the root center, rounding evenly. Place the palms softly on knees in Bindu Mudra. Spine tall, chest lifted, gaze forward, steady and Paramashivoham. Visualizing yourself as a stream flowing steadily, unbroken and clear, moving towards vastness.
तंतुधुनासना
Clear, moving towards vastness.
तंतुधुनासना आसने की गुण की मन मन आसने की गुण मन आसने की गुण की मन मन आसने की गुण मन की चंचलता नीचे.
Sitting in Siddhasana Dve. Press the heels near the root center, grounding evenly. Cup both hands together like a closed lotus. Spine tall, chest lifted as you're holding the Samputta Mudra with your hands. And Samana Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, throne, unyielding.
सिद्धासना द्वयामङ्गुष्टमादरात्.
Now we move on to Bandha Yoni Asana. With the thumb, eyes with the little finger on the lower mudra.
बंध योनि आसना.
Hero pose. Keep your spine tall, shoulders relaxed, holding the Bindu Mudra with your hands. Samana Mudra with your hands. Samana Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda the knees. We move on to only on thigh. Auspicious pose 3. Sit up. Auspicious pose 3. Sit upright on the floor and place your heels directly underneath your genitals. on either side of the perineum. Turn the soles of your with both hands while remaining perfectly. Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka, Uddiyana Bandha by drawing the abdomen inward and up. Chant the japa Om Nithyananda Param inward and up. Chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize your seat as auspicious foundation, spreading blessings in all directions.
अथ भद्रासनं गुल्फौ च वृषगुल्फे तु दक्षिणे
Next, we move on to Aghorasana. Ears pose. Sit with soles of the feet together near the perineum. The nostrils as you begin. Between the eyebrows, relaxing the breath. Then gently, comfortably without strain. Holding the Abhyantara Kumbhaka. Slowly inhale through the nose until the lungs are full. Then retain the breath inside with steady awareness. Visualizing yourself as a blazing firebrand, fierce yet controlled, radiating intensity.
अघोरासना पूर्वक हो भस्त्रिगजोई वाही विधियों कीजे सोई सब अंगुरी मुकाबह.
Move on to Kaneri Pava Asana, evergreen breeze pose. So, feet right in front, out in front of you. Touch your big toes together, but keep your heels spread apart. Place your elbows right into the space between your heels and gently cup your chin in your hands. Keep your back straight, open your chest and relax your shoulders, holding the Shambhavi Mudra, Rechaka Kumbhaka, exhaling fully and holding the breath out. Uddiyana Bandha by drawing the abdomen inward and up, visualizing yourself as an eternal evergreen tree rooted deeply in the earth. Chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
कानेरी पवासना आसन ग्वाली पव आसन कहियो हे जैसे याहू में जाने विदिते से दो गुलफ माहिल जानो और एरी बीच कहू निधानो.
Now, slowly come up as we move on to Parasana, the supreme pose. Sit with the knees raised. Interlace the fingers in front of your navel. Balance slightly back on the sitting bones, keeping spine tall and breath steady. Then gently release the feet down. As you hold the Parashamudra with your hands, interlacing the fingers, Rechaka Kumbhaka, exhaling fully and holding the breath out, Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. As you visualize yourself seated as supreme stillness, beyond fluctuation, vast and undivided.
परासना आसन प्रथम माहिली जम गुजो जुदोऊ तिन करी काद बुजा सो गोडा तरी करी बाहरी ताने उलता मोदी जमगन परि आने.
Now we move on to Gopichanda Asana, King Gopichand's pose. Sit drawing the feet together near the chest. Place the big toes towards the throat, heels at upper chest, and interlace your fingers to support. Rest the chin lightly, gaze towards the nose. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Rechaka Kumbhaka Mulabandha. Chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham as you visualize yourself as King Gopichand in yogic renunciation, royal yet surrendered.
गोपी चंदासना पूर्व विधि पगा का अंगूठा कंटकूप रासे ये री हृदय लगावे कांपसी एदिया अंगुली परिराशे दृष्टि नासा अग्र आसन कौगिन इद पिंगली की पवन तंब जालंधर बंद लागे.
From here, we are moving on to Udara Asana, belly pose. Sit with the soles of the feet pressed together and knees wide. Thread the arms under the thighs, clasp the feet tightly. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualizing the belly as a fertile center glowing like fire, sustaining strength. Envision the energy radiating, spiraling at the navel, radiating warmth and radiance.
उदरासना दऊ पगतली संपुट थाने उबे हस्त करी उरद हिताने अंगुष्ठ दऊ सम ठहरावे चुबक नीचे टाही लगावे बहुरी दो करा ऐसे धीरे आनी पगन तर बाहर खाने.
Now, continue to remain seated in the same position as we move on to Vishishtasana, the special pose. Sit with the feet together, arms under the thighs, and lift the feet up towards the chest and press them lightly towards the forehead. Interlace the hands to secure spine upright, gaze towards the nose as you hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Rechaka Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself seated in uniqueness, neither bound nor common, radiating distinction.
विशिष्टासना. दऊ पगतली जोड़ी संपुट करे, हाथ दऊ पगा बीच आने, तले करी बारिली ले कहुन्य माहिनी समधिराशे.
From here, we move on to Bhujasana, the shoulder pose. So, this time raising the legs and carefully tuck each leg over and behind your shoulders. Thread your arms underneath your thighs and clasp your hands together behind the base of your neck to hold yourself steady. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Rechaka Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham as you visualize your body upheld by shoulders like pillars, strong and steady guardian.
भुजासना. शिरसां तु विज्ञेयं कक्षासनमतः परं, ग्रीवासनं च परमं भुजासनमिहुच्यते.
Now we move on to Kalyanasana. Sit balanced, bring the hands between the feet and under the knees. Then wrap your arms securely around the bent calves behind your back. Legs on top of the shoulders. Establish firm crow-like hold with feet as base. Gaze softly towards the nose as you hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Rechaka Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualizing each breath unfolding as a blessing, filling you with luminous.
कल्याणासना. दऊ हाथ पग बीचे आने, तिनको गोन नीचे ढाने, बहुरी पाकत्य बाहर आवे, पुनः युक्ति ऐसे ठहरावे.
Now we move on to Shankatasana. So begin kneeling, placing the left heel beneath the perineum, cross the right foot and one over the left with the heel near the hip. Rest the palms on the opposite thighs, spine upright, chest lifted, shoulders soft, grounding evenly. Hold the Vaishnavi Mudra with your eyes, with the inner focus and outer vision. Free from blinking or opening the eyes, hold the Ujjayi Kumbhaka with your breath, slightly contracting the throat, and draw the breath slowly in through the nostrils, producing the sound of the ocean. Hold the Mula Bandha, chant the Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham as you visualize yourself entering the narrow strait of hardship where pressure surrounds yet does not destroy.
धेनुकासना. सव्याङ्गरिकुण्डलं पृष्ठे वामनिवेशयेत्, वामङ्ग्रिकुण्डलं च एव दक्षिणे धेनुकासनम्.
So that was the Shankatasana. So now we are moving on to Dhenukasana, dairy cow pose. This time, move the left heel out. Sit on the floor with the heels by your sides, palms on your thighs, placing both hands on your knees. Place the hands gently on the knees, spine tall, chest broad. Hold the Vaishnavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka with your breath, making the sound of the ocean. Draw the abdomen inward and up in Udhyana Bandha. Chant the Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as a generous cow, nourishing and calm, embodying abundance.
धेनुकासना सव्याङ्घ्रिकुण्डलं पृष्ठे वामनिवेशयेत् वामङ्घ्रिकुण्डलं च एव दक्षिणे धेनुकासनम्.
Now we move on to Machandra Asana. So sit with the right foot placed on the left thigh and the left foot resting across the right knee. Reach the left hand behind the back and hold on to the right thigh and bring the right hand across the left thigh to twist. Keep the spine lengthened, chest open, gaze steady. Then unwind gracefully as you hold the Vaishnavi Mudra Ujjayi Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as Sage Matsyendra, seated in deep twist, channeling secret wisdom.
Machandrasana Vamajangapad.
Now we move on to Machandrasana way. Sit in Machandrasana and slowly untwist, reaching the hands to grasp the big toes. Hold the torso forward with steady exhale, forehead easing towards the mat. Chest soft over the thighs, spine rounding gently, shoulders relaxed. Hold the Vaishnavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka Mulabandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Machandrasana द्वे मत्स्येन्द्र आसन प्रथम जीमनो चरण जुजोई वामजंग राखे सोई ताकि एदी काति सुलावे बहुरी युक्त याहोर करावे.
Now we move on to Guru Asana. Maintaining the same posture, join both hands together, top of the upper knee. Place the spine upright, chest lifted, shoulders soft. Hold the Vaishnavi Mudra Ujjayi Kumbhaka Mahamudra Bandha. Contracting the pelvic floor, tucking the chin to the chest, drawing the abdomen in. Chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, radiating light that dissolves every shade of ignorance within and around you.
Guru Asana ऊरुमूलेतरपादस्य कनिष्ठिकप्रदेशे गुल्फं संस्थाप्य तदेव जानु इतरपादपार्ष्णि संस्थाप्य तिष्ठेत् हस्तौ सम्मिल्लयेत्.
Placing the hands on the opposite knees, spine tall, holding the Vaishnavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka with your breath, making the sound of the ocean. Clench the perineum in Mula Bandha, chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself entering the narrow strait of hardship where pressure surrounds yet does not destroy you.
Sankatasana वामपादं चितेर्मूलं सन्न्यास्य धारिणीतले पाददण्डेन याम्येन वेष्टयेद् वामपादकं जानयुग्मे करयुग्मम् एतत् सङ्कटासनम्.
Now we move on to Dhenukasana. Slightly release the right heel. Sit on the floor with the hands placed on the top knee. Spine tall, chest relaxed. Hold the Vaishnavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha. Chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a generous cow, nourishing and calm, embodying abundance.
धेनुकासना सव्याङ्गी कुण्डलं पृष्ठे वामनिवेशयेत् वामङ्गी कुण्डलं च एव दक्षिणे धेनुकासनम्.
Now we are going to repeat Machandra Asana on this side. So Lord Matsyendra's pose, sit with the left foot placed on the right thigh and the right foot over the left knee. Bring right arm behind the back to hold the left thigh while the left hand stays on top of the right thigh to twist the torso. Spine tall, chest lifted, hold the Vaishnavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as Sage Matsyendra, seated deep in deep twist, channeling secret wisdom.
मच्चन्द्रासना वामजङ्गपरदचिनधाने वामहस्तपृष्ठे दिशि आने बहुरो दक्षिण पाद है जोई ताकी नाली पा करे सोई वाम चरण पुरी ऐसे करे दक्षिण गोद ऊपर धारे बहरो दक्षिणे हस्त है जोई वाम जंग परि आने सोई.
Slowly untwist as we move on to Machandrasana way, keeping the legs in the same position. Hold on to the respective toes as you lean forward, bringing the forehead to the floor. Form the Vaishnavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
मत्स्येन्द्रासना द्वे. मत्स्येन्द्रासन प्रथम जीमनो चरण जुजोई वाम जंग परि राखे सोई ताकि एरिकाति सो लावे बहुरी युक्त याहो और करावे.
Now we move on to Guru Asana. Sit cross-legged, placing one ankle at the top of the thigh root and the opposite heel beside the knee. Interlace and close the hands top and the Paramashivam, radiating light that dissolves every shade of ignorance within and around you.
गुरु आसना. ऊरुमूलेतरपादस्य कनिष्ठिकप्रदेशे गुल्फं संस्थाप्य तदेव जानु उदरपादपार्श्वे संस्थाप्य तिष्ठेत् हस्तौ सम्मिलयेत् गुरु आसनं भवति.
Now we move on to Pashvasana, animal pose. Sit with the feet flat, knees bent, close to the chest, arms wrapping around to clasp the opposite knees. Firmly, spine upright, chest broad. Hold the Kechari Mudra, fixing your gaze between the eyebrows. Relax your breath. Then gently turn the tongue backward into the hollow. Hold the Ujjayi Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualizing yourself twisted like a tethered animal in Pashvasana, yet inwardly free.
विपरीत हस्ताभ्याम ऊरुसहित जंगे.
Sit grounded with the feet flat, knees bent towards the chest. Wrap your arms around the shins to clasp the opposite wrist. Draw the chin inward, fixing the gaze between the eyebrows. Relax the breath and gently turn the tongue backward into the hollow. Ujjayi Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualizing a conscious awakening manifesting within, taking you beyond sorrow.
घोरबेसे जंगचाति अग्र निवेसे.
Next is Kurakata Asana. Male chick pose. Sit with the feet grounded, knees bent. Slide the arms beneath the knees. Clasp the opposite elbows. Spine tall, chest broad. Kechari Mudra. Ujjayi Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. As you visualize yourself as a baby calf emerging with the first light of dawn, embodying luminance, vitality, and
ठहरावे आम हम साम हम ऐसे करे आपस में को हानि पकड़े.
continuing to remain seated in the same position as we move on to Samathyasana. As you cross your ankles, the right foot over the left, so the heels cross, toes point upward, spine tall, chest broad, Kechari Mudra. Ujjayi Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. As you visualize yourself as a noble wisdom, personified, unwavering, and luminous. Next is Dandasana, as you extend the legs in front of you. Lift the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, and press the palms upward, keeping the spine long, chest broad, chin lightly tucked to the and gaze to the nose. Kechari Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Maha Mudra Bandha, and Japa is Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
इदानीं गर्भिणीनां योगाभ्यासो यथा लघु सुखप्रसवलाभाय प्रोच्यते प्राक्तनेपति दण्डपद्मभरद्वाजा वीरवज्रसमानितु आसनानि सदा कुर्यात् सुदीर्घैरे च पूरकैः.
And together, hold the big toes with fingers and fold forward steadily, bringing the chest towards the thigh and forehead towards the knees. Prana Mudra with your hands Hold the Nadi Shodhana alternating, closing one nostril with the finger without the help of the fingers, inhaling through the other. Retain the breath with awareness, then exhaling through the opposite nostril. Hold the Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda
Arambas.
Hold the Shambhavi Mudra Ujjayi Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualizing yourself as lightning flitting through darkness, embodying the force that shatters illusion.
भेदोकासना प्रथमं समुपविश्य पादौ प्रसारयेत् सुष्ठुं यथा किञ्चिदूर्ध्वं कुरते यत्र गुल्फयोरन्तरं स्थितम्.
Sit with the legs extended, heels together. This time extend the arms to the side, palms facing down on the floor. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra Ujjayi Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a master of inner winds, embodying control over breath and sound.
जालंधरी पवासना दोऊ एरी मिलके दीजे हाथ पसारी पुनि चिबुक मुखासी कथा दिगबू परिदारे.
Now we move on to Urdhva Paschimottanasana. Sit with the legs forward extended, place one foot carefully behind the neck, then fold the torso forward as in a deep seated stretch. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham as you hold on to the toes that is extended in front of you. Visualize yourself as a bow drawn fully open, embodying expansion and resilience.
ऊर्ध्व पश्चिमोत्तानासना पश्चिमोत्तानवत् संस्थितं कृतम् एकं पादं ग्रीवायम् अध्यतिष्ठेत् ऊर्ध्व पश्चिमतानं भवति.
Now slowly lean back as we move on to Anantasana with the legs behind, with one foot behind your head. Hold on to the foot with the opposite hand and extend the opposite leg in front of you. In infinite pose, hold the Shambhavi Mudra Pratyahara Kumbhaka, withdrawing the senses inward, then move awareness sequentially through the 9 points: soles of the feet, perineum, navel, heart, chest, throat, base of throat, between the eyebrows and forehead. Hold the Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as the endless sky, embodying infinity without boundary.
अनन्तासना उत्तान शयनम् एकैकं पादं ग्रीवायं विन्यस्य इतरहस्तेन पादाग्रं गृहीत्वा इतरपावहुष्टिलिकृत्य तिष्ठेत् अनन्तासनं भवति.
Remaining in the same position, turn to one side in Ankushasana. So turn towards the side with the whichever hand is holding on to the opposite foot, turn towards that side. As you hold the Shambhavi Mudra Pratyahara Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as Ankuta, a small yet commanding guiding stick for an elephant of instructions. So of elephant of immense strength.
अंकुशासना उत्तानशयित एकैकं पादं ग्रीवायं कुर्वन् इतरहस्तं कर्णमूले स्थापयेत् तस्यैव हस्तस्य कूपरं भूमौ निधाय इतरहस्तपादौ सरिलीकृत्य तिष्ठेत् अंकुशासनं भवति.
Now we move on to Drishasana, the vision pose. So relax your legs and bring your knees to the chest as you hug your knees. in Drisasana, holding the Shambhavi Mudra. Sahaja Kumbhaka, inhaling deeply through the nose. Hold the breath comfortably, then release through the nose. Hold the Mulabandha, chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualizing yourself as a seer, embodying clarity that pierces beyond forms.
उत्तानशैलं जाननी हृदये अवस्थम्भजङ्गसहित ऊर्णीकरद्वये भद्रसव्यपस्वं लोलये दोलासनं भवति.
Now we move on to Urdhva Paschimottanasana, repeated on the other side. So come to a seated position, leg the opposite leg forward, bring the other foot, whichever foot you had the previous time, now the other leg, bring the foot behind your neck, lean forward as you hold on to the leg, hold on to the foot with both hands. Hold Shambhavi Mudra, Nityahara Kumbhaka Mulabandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. If you're unable to bring the foot behind your neck, you can bring them towards the chest.
ऊर्ध्व पश्चिमतानासना. पश्चिमतानवत् संस्थितं कृत्वम् एकं पादं ग्रीवायम् अध्यतिष्ठेत् ऊर्ध्व पश्चिमतानं भवति.
Now lean back into Anantasana, laying on the floor. Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka Mulabandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
अनन्तासना. उत्तानशयनम् एकैकं पादं ग्रीवायं विन्यस्य इतरहस्तेन पादाग्रं गृहीत्वा इतरपावहुष्टिलिख्यत्य तिष्ठेत् अनन्तासनं भवति.
Now slowly lean towards one side into Ankushasana, holding the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka Mulabandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
उत्तानशयित एकैकं पादं ग्रीवायं कुर्वन् इतरहस्तेन कर्णमूले स्थापयेत् तस्यैव हस्तस्य कूर्पुरं भूमौ निधाय इतरहस्तपादौ सरिलीकृत्य तिष्ठेत् अङ्कुशासनं भवति.
Relax. As we move on to Yoga Nidra Asana, Yoga Sleep Pose, this time bringing both feet behind your head, crossing the ankles, and hold on to the bring your hands to hold to the back. As we move on, Yoga Nidra Asana, hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka Mulabandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself in yogic sleep.
योगनिद्रासना. पादाभ्यां वेष्टयेत् कण्ठं हस्ताभ्यां धृष्टबन्धनं तन्मध्ये शयनं कुर्यात् योगनिद्रा सुखप्रदा.
Now we move on to Atma Ramasana. Lay on the back, lift the legs towards the head, cross the arms like scissors and clasp behind the neck. Keep breath steady, slow, torso supported. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka Mulabandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
आत्मरामासना. आत्मरामासनं वक्ष्ये सर्वकामफलप्रदम् उत्तानशयनं कृत्वा पादौ मूर्ध्नि समाहरेत् हस्तद्वयं तु सम्प्रोक्ष्य ग्रीवा कृत्वा ग्रीवमसके न्यसेत्.
Now we move on to Kochikasana. Lay on your back with the knees bent. feet skyward, extend the arms wide along the mat, pressing the palms down, chest open, gaze upward between the eyebrows. Breathe steady, shoulders grounded, keep the posture calm, then lower the feet gently. Arms relax and lay flat comfortably. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Pratyahara Kumbhaka. प्रत्याहार कुंभका मूलबंधा जपा ओम नित्यानंद परम शिवोहम.
कोचिकासना. कोचिकासनमे तद्धि सर्वव्याधिनिवासनम् उत्तानं शयनं कृत्वा जानुनी गगने नयेत् हस्तौ प्रसार्य भूमौ च तिष्ठेत् सुष्ठितरमानसा.
Now we move on to Chatara Pradivritti. Lay supine, legs hugging both knees onto the chest, arms stretched wide, lower the right knee across the body while the left leg extends, head turning to the left, shoulders anchored, breathe into the belly softly, then return the legs to the center. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, Mulabandha Japa Om Nithyananda Parama Shivoham. As you visualize yourself as a radiant force, the belly twisting as fire churns and refines within.
जठरी परिवृत्ति. परिवृत्ति कुक्षिभागे त्रिधा हि परिकीर्तितः हद्दकोनं सुप्तकोनं ऊर्ध्वकोनमतापि च.
Now we move on to Jatara Parivritti Dve, the belly twist pose 2. So drop the knees gently together to the right side, spine rotating, head turning to the opposite side with the hands extended. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra. Pratyahara Kumbhaka Mulabandha Japa Om Nithyananda Parama Shivoham.
जठरी परिवृत्ति द्वे. परिवृत्ति कुक्षिभागे त्रिधा हि परिकीर्तितः बद्धकोनं सुप्तकोनं ऊर्ध्वकोनमतापि च.
Now, Jatara Parivritti Trini. Just extend both legs and hold on to them with one hand. Remaining in the same pose, just extended your legs. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka Mulabandha Japa Om Nithyananda Parama Shivoham.
जठरी परिवृत्ति त्रिणी. परिवृत्ति कुक्षिभागे त्रिधा हि परिकीर्तितः बद्धकोनं सुप्तकोनं ऊर्ध्वकोनमतापि च.
Now we are going to repeat this sequence of asanas on the other side as we start with the Jatara Parivritti. Jatara Parivritti, the belly twist. Lay comfortably on the back with the knees bent into the chest, arms out wide. Now extend the opposite leg and fold the right leg long. Turn the head towards the left. Cross across. So whichever side you did earlier, now do the opposite side. Extend one leg forward and folding the other leg to the other side, holding with the respective hand. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, Mulabandha Japa Om Nithyananda Parama Shivoham.
जठरी परिवृत्ति. परिवृत्ति कुक्षिभागे त्रिधा हि परिकीर्तितः बद्धकोनं सुप्तकोनं ऊर्ध्वकोनमतापि च.
Now we move on to Jatara Parivritti Dve. This time, hold both legs to the side with the knees bent.
परिवृत्ति कुक्षिभागे त्रिधा हि परिकीर्तितः बद्धकोनं सुप्तकोनं ऊर्ध्वकोनमतापि च.
Now extend both legs and hold on with the left hand as we move on to Jatara Parivritti Trini.
परिवृत्ति कुक्षिभागे त्रिधा हि परिकीर्तितः भद्रकोणं सुप्तकोणम् ऊर्ध्वकोणमतापि च
Relax as we move on to Dvipada Pitam, the 2-foot seat. So laying on the back, feet flat by your hip. Hold on to the ankles with your hands and lift your hip as high as possible. Raise your hips as high as possible. Holding the Shamadi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, Jalandhara Bandha, and by tucking the chin to the chest, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as a radiant bridge.
द्विपादपीठं प्रतिक्रियायुतं द्वन्द्वपीठ सर्वबलप्रदं गर्भिणीनां दुर्लभलं नमीति गार्गी जगादनु
Now bring your hands by your shoulders, palms facing towards the feet. Raise your hip as high as possible as we move on to Paryankasana, the couch pose, holding the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, Mulabandha Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as a stone couch, unmoving, timeless and steady.
पर्यङ्कासना उत्थानशयनं हस्ततलाभ्यां भूमिमवष्टभ्य पादतलाभ्यां भूमिं धृत्वा नाभिप्रदेशम् ऊर्ध्वं कुर्यात् पर्यङ्कासनं भवति
Next, we move on to Svattanasana, the posture, the laying flat, hugging your knees to the chest, palms on the shoulders, elbows wide. Roll your body gently side to side, massaging the spine, hips circling smoothly. Shoulders anchored. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha. As you chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as a playful dog rolling freely on the ground.
स्वोत्तानासना तववच्छरीरं संस्थाप्य जानुनी संविल्य नाभौ नीय हस्ताभ्यां कन्धरं बद्ध्वा भामयेत् स्वोत्तानं भवति
Now we move on to Viparita Karani. So lay on your same position this time. Raise your legs, raise your hips, raise your legs into a vertical line. As you extend the arms on the side on the floor, you can use the support of your hands if you need to support your back. Otherwise, the arms are extended on the floor. This is an inverted asana. So the women in monthly cycle, please avoiding doing this asana. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Murcha Kumbhaka. In Murcha Kumbhaka, you will be inhaling deeply through the nose, then lock the chin to the chest and Jalandhara Bandha. Hold the breath and then slowly relax. Hold the Jalandhara Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
विपरीतकरणे भूतले श्वशिरो धत्वा केन ये चरणद्वयं विपरीतकृतश्चेष सर्वतन्त्रेषु गोपिता
Now, Viparita Karani Dve. Lay on the back, remaining in the same position, lifting the legs, raising your hips as you hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Murcha Kumbhaka, Jalandhara Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
विपरीतकरणे द्वे करणी विपरीताख्य सर्वदिव्यादिनाशिनी नित्यमभ्यासयुक्तस्य जातराग्नि विवर्धने आहाराबाहवस्तस्य सम्पाद्य साधकस्य च अल्पाहार यदि भवेत् अग्निर्देहं हरेक्षणात्
From here, just bring the feet behind the head to the floor. And bring the hands together, holding them, interlacing the fingers in Parashamudra, holding the breath in Murcha Kumbhaka, Jalandhara Bandha, Japa Om, Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualizing your legs extending over your head like a steady flow.
Langalasana. ग्रीवकण्ठेन भूमिं विस्तम्भपादग्रद्वयम् ऊर्ध्वम् उन्नयेत् नरकासनं भवति नरकासने स्थित्वा नासिकप्रदेशे भूमौ पादपृष्ठे स्थाप्य हस्तद्वयं सम्मिल्य लम्बीकुर्यात् ग्रीवप्रदेशेन भूमिं कर्षयेत् लङ्गलासनं भवति.
Next, we move on to Saita Paschimottanasana. So from here, extend, laying in the same position, bring the hands to the feet. From Langalasana, remain in the same position. This time, instead of interlacing the fingers behind your back, bring the hands to hold on to the feet. In Saita Paschimottanasana, hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Murcha Kumbhaka, Jalandhara Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as a river flowing westward, surrendering to the earth's embrace.
तानं शयित्वा कुर्वीता शयितपश्चिमतानकम्.
Now raise your hip vertically up, still holding on to the feet as you move on to Supta Konasana. Holding the Shambhavi Mudra, Murcha Kumbhaka, Jalandhara Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualizing your body expanding sideways like a vast, steady mountain.
सुप्तकोनासना. परिवृत्ति कुक्षि भागे त्रिधा हि परिकीर्तितः भद्रकोणं सुप्तकोणम् ऊर्ध्वकोणमतापि च.
Next is Chakrasana. So lay on the back, lifting your legs overhead to touch the floor. Bend the arms backward, holding the ankles, rolling gently onto the upper back. So remaining from the previous asana, just roll the back onto the floor. In Chakrasana, hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Murcha Kumbhaka, Jalandhara Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualizing yourself as a luminous wheel.
चक्रासना. शवासनस्थौ द्वौ पादौ कुर्यन्मस्तकतः परौ विक्रमेण तथा शीघ्रम् एतत् सर्वस्य साधनं चक्रासने गुल्मप्लीह वातरोगतिनाशनम्.
Now bring the hips to the floor as you just make a V shape with the legs, holding on to the toes. Just extend the legs, Madhevasmana. Just extend the legs like a V shape. Yes. And holding on to the toes. Hold the Prana Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Now, see, the legs are not towards your head. Bring the hips to the floor. Yes. And hold on to the... Yes. As you visualize your legs stretching outward like a vast, steady reverse reaching towards the horizon.
सुप्तप्रसारितपादाङ्गुष्ठासना. उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गष्ठप्रसारिणे.
Now bring the feet together. Raise your shoulders up to hold on to the feet. In Supta Padangushtasana, supine big toe pose. Hold the Prana Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
सुप्तपादाङ्गुष्ठासना. उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं ददराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गष्ठप्रसारणे.
Now we move on to Matsyasana. So sit in Padmasana, lean back on the floor. As you bring the arms behind, hands behind your neck. Holding on to the opposite elbows, hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
मत्स्यासना मुक्तपद्मासनं कृत्वा उत्तानशयनं चरेत् पूर्पराभ्यां शिरो वेष्ट्या मत्स्यासनं तु रोगः.
Then, Nithyananda. Ma Devasmana every time getting up is distracting. Ma Devasmana getting up every time to change the slide is distracting. See, from a viewer point of view, she's not flowing into the asana. Every time she's getting up, getting up, getting up. So, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay.
As we continue with the asanas, laying on the mat, but keeping her legs in Padmasana, bring the hands
Parashuramasana. परशुरामप्रसादेन प्रोक्तमासनमुत्तमं पद्मासनं सुसंस्थाप्य उत्तानं शयनं चरेत् हस्तद्वयं प्रसार्याथा दक्षिणं वामहस्तके.
Now we move on to Sarvangasana. Remaining in the same position, now bring your hands to support your lower back as you lift your legs above and raising the hips off the floor. So if it's easy for you, bring the legs up first, straighten the legs. After raising your hips, then you can
सर्वाङ्गासना. अथ वक्ष्ये अत्र संक्षेपात् सर्वाङ्गासनमुत्तमं यत्कृत्वा योगनिपुनो विद्याभि पण्डितो यथा.
Next is Vrishchikasana. So relax the Padmasana, extend, bend the knees, foot is off the floor. As you hook the fingers above, raise your shoulders and look towards your feet. In Vrishchikasana, Shambhavi Mudra, Murcha Kumbhaka Jalandhara Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
वृश्चिकासनमेतद्दीनागानाथेन भासितम् उत्तानशयनं कृत्वा पादौ गगने मुञ्चति हस्तौ शिरसि संस्थाप्य वृश्चिकस्य मुखं यथा. प्रथमशयनसूधो शीर्षके शुकी संधिसुराखे काचो शीर्ष उर्धकरी राखे.
Continuing to remain seated, now we move on to Dashapada Kshepasana. Bull kicking pose. So remaining, laying down with the hands behind your neck. Alternate your legs and bring one knee towards the chest. Lift your shoulders as you alternate the knees to the chest, to your elbows. Holding the Parashu Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha. Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivo. Strike with control.
केन पादेन सव्यदक्षिणं भ्रामयित्वा वृषपादक्षेपं भवति.
Now relax one leg at a time, one holding the knee towards the chest. You're not lifting your head, just remain on the ground as you just bring the Paramashivoham.
मारोत्तनासना. श्वोत्तनवसंस्थिता कृत्वा जानु.
Relax. Now we move on the ground, bend the knees upward and use the strength in feet and core to rise smoothly upright. Keep the chest lifted, spine tall and breath calm. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha. Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualizing yourself as a wolf, alert and poised.
वृकासना. अथोत्तानं शयनं कृत्वा पादतलाभ्यां भूमिं.
This is Lutasana. Laying on the back, swing the legs overhead until the feet pass the skull and touch the floor. Roll the torso forward into a prone, then roll back. Supine, continuing flowing rolls rhythmically, holding the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om. Relax. Now we move on to the next asana. Sanatana, the chariot pose. So lay on your belly, bring the hands by your chest like a staff. Purse the lips gently, producing a flute-like exhale. Open the chest, shoulders soft, hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Sharata Kumbhaka, contracting the lips as if whistling to produce a flute-like sound while inhaling. Then retain the breath in that position. Hold the Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as a mighty chariot.
गानाभ्यं भूमौ निधासनं भवति.
In Sharatasana, yes. Now we move on to the next asana, Dehal Yulangasana. Dehal Yulangana Asana. Grounded under the shoulders, hop the legs forward near the arms, then back again. Keeping the elbows steady, core firm, hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
देहल्युल्लङ्घनासना भगनं भवति.
Next is Jatyasana. Come to a standing position, fold forward, hold on to the and Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize your mind as a luminous witness accessing memories of
येन जातस्मिन् येन जात
Next is a Karana and waiting. It is not just going back and coming. It's like a wave. Yes. Now we move on to
सर्पासना. अथ सर्पासनं वक्ष्ये वायुपानाय केवलं शरीरं दन्तवत्ते रज्जुबन्ध.
asana. Seated camel pose. Lean forward, fold forward as you hold on to the toes. On the mat, holding the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a camel, drawing on your inner reserves to endure long challenges without faltering.
मुष्टिकनिष्ठिकप्रदेशेन भूमौ निधाय उपरि पादतले संस्थाप्य अश्ववत् शरीरं चालनीयम् आश्वासनं भवति. गजासनम् उष्ट्रवत् उष्ट्रासदसाधनं भवति.
Now we move on to Ashwasana. This time, hold on to the sides of the feet. Instead of the toes, you will hold from the sides. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha. Om chant the Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as a horse, embodying speed, stamina, and powerful coordination as you walk back and forth.
आश्वासना. मुष्टिकनिष्ठिकप्रदेशेन भूमौ निधाय उपरि पादतले संस्थाप्य अश्ववत् शरीरं चालनीयम् आश्वासनं भवति.
Next, we move on to Kapotanikasana. Pigeon pose. Standing tall, bring your hands together, interlacing the fingers behind chest rod, and look up towards the sky as you hold the Parashamudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
कपोतनिटिकम्. पादतले भूमौ निधाय पृष्ठभागेन हस्तौ जङ्घपर्यन्तं नीत्वा कपोतनिटिकं भवति.
Next is a Karana, Tana Pushpa Putam Karana. So standing in Aramandi, bring your hands in the Padma Mudra. Visualize yourself offering flowers to Paramashiva. Now we move on to Khadgasana, the sword pose. Lay face down, bend the knees, spring your feet up, beneath the torso to rise upright smoothly. Press the palms at the chest, spine tall, chest lifted, and breathe calm. Land softly without straining, then lower back to prone and repeat in the rhythm. It's in the Khadgasana. Bring your hands together in Namaskara Mudra. Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualizing yourself as a rhinoceros. Now we move on.
निजसरत् अमासनं कृत्वा पादतलाभ्यां भूमिम् अवस्तभ्य उत्तिष्ठेत् खड्गासनं भवति.
Now we move on to Uttanottanam, rising up. Stand tall, feet together, bend the knees deeply, lowering your hips to a squat, then rise up upright again. Repeat the sitting and standing rhythmically with breath steady. Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
उत्तानोत्तानं. पुनः पुनः उत्तातव्यम् असितव्यम् इति उत्तानोत्तानं भवति.
Next is Uchirshaka Asana, the high branch pose. Stand tall, draw the sole of one foot against the abdomen. gently balancing firmly on the opposite foot. Keep the spine upright, chest open. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as a tall tree. Bring your hands, actually can hold on to your feet.
उच्चैषकासना एकैकं पादतलं कुक्षौ निधाय तिष्ठेत् उच्चैश्रकं भवति.
Next is Tandavasana. Resting on one foot, raise the other foot and bring your arm in like a Nataraja's dance pose. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Actually, here we are going to stand like Lord Nataraja. How we see the Lord Nataraja's deities. Raising one leg and yes. Bend your leg so that you are in Aramandi. Bend your right leg, you are in Aramandi. Yes. As you visualize as yourself as Shiva moving with fierce divine energy.
ताण्डवासना पादे स्थित्वा अन्यपादो अधप्रेरितः ताण्डवासनमार्ग नित्यं शिवस्य तादत् स्थितः.
Next we move on to Karana. Parshva Janu Karana. So standing on one leg, bend the other leg, bring the knee towards the chest and hold on to with the respective hand and the other hand by your hip. Now we repeat the Tandavasana on the other side. Let's move on to Tandavasana.
पादे स्थित्वा अन्यपादो अधप्रेरितः ताण्डवासनमा नित्यं शिवस्य तादत् स्थितः.
Relax. As you move on to Brahmanasana, the Brahman pose, stand on one leg, bring the other foot towards the inner thigh, arms by your side. As you hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
ब्रह्मणासना ब्रह्मणासनमावक्ष्य यत्कृत्वा ब्राह्मणो भवेत् एकपादमरो दत्वा तिष्ठेत् दण्डकृतिर्भुवि.
Now repeat the Brahmanasana on the other side.
ब्राह्मणासनमावक्ष्य यत्कृत्वा ब्राह्मणो भवेत् एकपादमरो दत्वा तिष्ठेत् दण्डकृतिर्भुवि.
Next is Ekapadasana. Stand on right leg, lift the opposite foot to rest above the shift the near thigh. Place the hands near the knee and keep opposite arm extended gently. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
एकपादासना दक्षाधीं वामपादस्य जङ्घोपरि निधाय च व्यपानं जानुपार्श्वयोः स्पृशेत् कुटिरमाङ्गने एवं विधासनस्यत्र तत्र एकह्यासनं भवति.
Now repeat the Ekapadasana on the other side.
दक्षादिं वामपादस्य जङ्घोपरि निधाय च व्यपानं जानुपार्श्वयोः स्पृशेत् कुटिराङ्गना एवं विधासन यत्र तत्र एकपादासनं भवेत्.
Next, we move on to Gohyasana. This is an inverted pose. So, bringing the crown of the head to the floor, supporting with the hands, interlacing the fingers behind the head. Slowly lift your hips, bend your knees as you move on to Gohyasana, folding the legs by you. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra. So, this is an inverted pose. Come down. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a serene cow, embodying calmness, patience, and steadfast openness.
गोही आसना दो हाथ की कहूनी जोई पुनः कलाए जाने दोई विष्ट अंगुलिया की पुन जानो ए सबले भू ऊपर ठानो.
So here your knees are not lifted. Your knees are actually by your chest. Just you are raising only the hip and feet are folded towards the hips and knees by your abdomen or chest. Only your hips go higher. Yes. Now extend your legs into Shirshasana in the headstand. Holding on to Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha, visualizing your body inward to the luminous axis of concentrated awareness.
Tirasasana. Viparitam mandalam cha dudaiha viditam hiraha dandasanam juda proktam viparitopavesane sarvang shirsha bhagastu shashashti pratitastu te.
Slowly come down as we move on to Prodhyasana. So come to a seated position, holding onto your calves just below the knees with both hands. Lift your legs upwards, guiding your shins towards vertical while bringing your forehead gently towards your knees. Keep your spine long, chest expanding. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Bastrika Kumbhaka. Forcefully and rapidly inhale and exhale through the nose with equal emphasis on both breaths. Hold the Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Prodhyasana. दौ हाथ पग बाहर आने गोदातरी काम सीधाने अंगुष्ठ पिंडली लगताधरे चरणों भे आकाश ऋषि करे वृष्टि सबूल धरती लावे उदर संकोचि ऊर्ध ठहरावे गोदाशीष वितंबन करे इद विधि भोड्यासन धरे.
Next is Parigasana. So remaining in the same position, bring the hands behind your head, interlacing the fingers. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Bastrika Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
परिघासना. उत्तानं शयनं कृत्वा पादौ मिलित्वा प्रसार्य नितम्बं भूमौ स्पृष्ट्य हस्ताभ्यां कन्धराभद्वा कुम्भकं कृत्वा तिष्ठेत् परिघासनं भवति.
Now from the same position, bring the elbows to the floor, supporting yourself as we move on to Naukasana, the boat pose.
उत्तानं शयनं कृत्वा पादौ मिलित्वा प्रसार्य नितम्बं भूमौ स्पृष्ट्य हस्ताभ्यां कन्धराभद्वा कुम्भकं कृत्वा तिष्ठेत् परिघासनं भवति.
Relax, come to a seated position as we move on to Rudrasana. This time, sit with the feet lifted, knees drawn comfortably towards your chest. Slide your hands under each heel and hold firmly to draw your feet closer to your body. Keep your spine upright, chest open and shoulders relaxed. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Bastrika Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
रुद्रासना. पगतरि संपुटे करि हाथस्य पगौ चाई पगाकांगुठादौ ले ऊपर लीकानि तालवे लगावे पजे दौ हाथ पगा माहे करि नीचे करि चीरे आनी पगा का आगल्या पर काकसी दृष्टि नासा अग्र.
Now come down on the mat as we move on to Unmukha Pita Dve. Upward facing. Lay down on the mat. Feet flat by your hips. Hands underneath your feet, under your heels. And raise your hips up. Holding the Shambhavi Mudra. Murcha Kumbhaka. Inhaling deeply through the nose, then lock the chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha. Hold the breath and then relax slowly as you chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
उन्मुख पीठासना. ऊर्ध्वे च जाननी कृत्वा शयित्वोर्ध्वमुखं तथा उत्थाप्य हस्तौ तिष्ठेतु पीठम् उन्मुख नामके.
Now extend the legs as we move on to the last asana of the sequence, Shavasana. Extend the legs, allow the feet to fall apart naturally. Arms by your side, palms facing up. Hold the Shakti Chalana Mudra. Focus on the Mooladhara, contract the perineum to rouse the dormant Kundalini. Forcefully draw the Apana Vayu upward with intent, holding the energy and intention. Clench your perineum and Moola Bandha. Chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
अथ शवासनम्. उत्तानं शववद्भूमौ शयनं तु शवासनम्. शवासनं श्रान्तिहरं चित्तविश्रान्तिकारकम्।
Now slowly wiggle your toes, your fingers. Hold your knees as you gently rock side to side. Roll over to one side and come up to a seated position. Congratulations, now you have successfully completed 100 asanas today. All of you did a wonderful job. I hope you enjoyed the Nithyananda Yoga session with us today. If you'd like to get a deeper experience of this yoga, please join us in Paramashivasena, a 30-day program offered for free. And this program is happening in Kailasa, Guinea-Bissau, and in Kailasa, Bengaluru, and in Thiruvannamalai, Kailasa Thiruvannamalai in Bharat. You can register for this program at ecitizen.info/PSS. I hope you enjoyed the yoga session today. Now let us conclude the session by chanting the Purna Mantra. Please bring your hands together in Atmanjali Mudra as we chant. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Now slowly turn towards Swamiji's Atmamurti and offer your gratitude. Nithyanandam, thank you everyone. We hope to see you again tomorrow, same time.